If you want to get insanely high RPMs on your next YouTube video, then watch this short guide. Now, getting high RPMs isn't a mystery. There's no sort of jigs or anything weird you have to do. And I'm going to explain to you why this video here only has a $1.73 RPM, whereas this one here has an $122 RPM. For context, they're the exact same length video. The only thing that's different is the audience. So let me explain to you how it actually works. Now, one misconception about RPMs on YouTube is that it's dictated by YouTube, when actually it's dictated by the advertisers putting ads on the videos. So if we think about an advertiser who is selling some kind of financial service, for example, let's say a stock trading app. A stock trading app knows that their type of clients are going to be high value. So you can imagine if eToro or something like that is trying to get customers onto their platform, they know that one of their customers might spend 50,000 or 50K on their platform, meaning that their budget for acquiring a customer is going to be a lot. So when eToro is putting ads on videos, they know that they've got a huge budget to spend and they'll still be profitable. Even if they spend $5,000 to get a customer, for example, they're still going to be profitable. And you've got a load of companies like this. So you're going to have eToro, let's say you've got Trading 212, and just imagine there's going to be a ton of different companies like eToro in the market which help people invest stocks or whatever. And so what happens is they all know that the customer is worth a lot of money. They know one customer is worth $50,000, for example, and they're all going to be spending money and outbidding each other on these ads because they can spend a lot to gain these customers. And even if they spend $5,000, it's still profitable for them because the customer will be using their platform and they'll probably be a lifelong customer. And so with something like this, you're going to get high RPMs because they're spending a shit ton of money to get a customer. Now, if we go and look at something like gaming, so let's say that Ubisoft has launched a new game coming out soon. They know that one person, the value of one customer buying their game, it might be up to $100 because that's how much someone might spend on their game. Now, if we compare the two, eToro, one customer is worth 50K, whereas Ubisoft, one customer is worth $100. And so because of this, Ubisoft and any other companies, you've got Ubisoft and EA, they know that they've got way less money they can spend on a customer, so they can't bid as much for that customer as these other platforms can, for example. And so the way this ends up working on YouTube is that when there are videos that an eToro customer might be interested in, eToro is going to bid to put their ad on that video. And these two are bidding against each other. The customer's worth 50K, so they can bid a lot. And so that's why if you make a video about something finance related, you're going to get higher RPMs because these guys are going to be bidding on it because they know the type of customer watching a finance video might be interested in their product. Whereas if you make gaming videos, let's say you make some GTA videos or something, the type of customer watching GTA videos is not going to be someone interested in finance. They're going to be someone interested in gaming. And this is someone that Ubisoft and EA would want to advertise to. So we've got Ubisoft and we've got versus EA. They are going to be bidding against each other to get this one customer on the GTA video. But because they only have $100 to spend to acquire that customer, they're not going to be spending anywhere near this 50K on this video. So the RPMs are going to be lower. So first of all, that essentially is the niche part of RPMs. So the niche is very important because it dictates what kind of advertiser is going to be advertising on your videos. If you're in a niche with high value customers who might be interested in high value products, then you're going to get higher RPMs. The second thing you can look at is the intent of the customer. So if we, for example, if we make the video best stock trading platform and we compare eToro and Trading 212, this is super high intent because someone who's looking up this video is about to purchase or about to use one of these products. Meaning that eToro and Trading 212 are going to be even more likely to want to advertise on this video because it's the last step someone's going to take or the last video someone's going to watch before they make their purchasing decision. So in this regard, the customer is going to be super high intent. So they're high intent, but as they're in this niche as well, they're also high value. This can also apply for something like gaming. So if you made a video about GTA 5 versus, you know, Fortnite, for example, GTA and Fortnite, or the companies that make them, are more likely to want to advertise on these because they're trying to sway a customer to use one platform or another, to use one gaming or another. So although the customers here are not super high value, they're still high intent. So they're going to be worth more than just a normal gaming video. And so to break it down for the example I gave earlier, one of the videos was about Ubisoft, how to do something. So it was a Ubisoft tutorial, and the other one was a comparison of finance products. And so you can see that the Ubisoft one, the value of the customer is low because it's people playing video games, they've not got a lot of money to spend. And this was the one that had the $1.80 RPM or whatever it was. Whereas this one here, this one had high intent customers because they're looking at options, and the customers were high value because they're obviously interested in this high value product. And this is why on this video we had a $150 RPM, wherever it was. And it's really as simple as that. Just think about the value of the customer. Have they got a lot of purchasing power? And what's their intent of the video? Are they watching it for casual, or are they watching it because they're interested in buying a product? And if I break down the value of the customer down a little bit more, customer value, there's a lot of things that go into this. So you can say age, you can say you know, demographic or country, let's say. Even as far as things like device, for example. All these things you need to take into account when making videos. So someone who is under 18 obviously has less money than someone who's 35 plus. So instantly, if you are making videos that are tailored toward 35-year-olds, then your RPMs are going to be higher. They've got more money to spend on stuff, whereas an under 18-year-old doesn't. Again, with the country, if you advertise to a country like the USA, people in the USA have way more money than someone in India, for example, on average. So, you know, if you go USA 35 plus as the demographic, you're going to get paid way more than an under 18 Indian. And there's no hate, just the way it is. And then the context is important for the device as well. So for example, someone who is on iPhone versus, for example, TV, there's going to be a difference in the purchasing power of each. You know, someone who's on iPhone, maybe they're on, you know, they're commuting and they're just watching a video. They're probably not going to buy anything on their commute home. Someone that's watching on TV, they're probably relaxing, you know, they've got free time, they're not doing anything. Chances are these guys are going to be a lot higher purchasing intent. But then if we go ahead and look at someone like on computer, you know, it's a lot easier to browse and buy stuff on computer than it is on iPhone and TV. So someone that's on a computer or a laptop is more likely to purchase on a TV, for example. Now, these are all like little things that go into getting a good RPM. But essentially the biggest thing is going to be the demographics, so age and country, and then also the interest. That's going to be the biggest one. If someone is interested in something high value, then they're going to have high RPMs, simple as that. And so that's kind of like what we use when we're figuring out high RPM niches. This is the thing we use all the time. And it's basically a really simple breakdown of how to get high RPMs on YouTube. If you enjoyed the video, go down below. We have a free Telegram where we talk about YouTube search automation, YouTube automation in general, and we discuss things like high RPMs all the time. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.